Do you think that the best requirements to fill a job vacancy is the curriculum or the character? One day a street sweeper was looking for some things in the garbage. And meanwhile I leave some money under a fruit. But she did not expect that some people would take it away. What would her attitude be if she took the money? He did this test a few more times because he didn't want to believe that everyone is the same. Lack of character these days is very common. Unfortunately, we cannot trust anyone. The first person to pass was a woman. I was looking for a job interview I would have. And when he saw the money, he didn't think twice, he bent down and very brazenly picked it up. And still he went away laughing, as if what he did was beautiful and right. The second to pass was a boy. When he saw the money, did not think twice and took it. The girl stared at him to see if he had the courage to take it. When he saw that he took the money, to cover it up, he gave her a piece of garbage to throw in the bag in front of her, and I left. I was outraged by this situation, but decided to try one more time. So he changed the position of the fruit, hoping to find someone nice to pay him back. Then another guy walks up. He also seems to be looking for something. Looking on the floor, he sees the money. He takes it, greets the girl with a good morning, and asks if that money was hers. She said yes. And thanks you. Asks you to be more careful. Says goodbye and leaves. She is happy with the boy's attitude. Subsequently, the other two people who took the money on the way to the interview managed to find the place. And they stayed in the room waiting until the guy who returned the money also arrives. When he arrives, the other candidates look him up and down. The girl holds her nose saying it sucks, and the boy questions her clothes. Apologize. Because it was the only clothes I had. And about the smell, he had gone running. Because he had missed the bus. And the smell was of sweat, because he had run there. The other two candidates believe themselves superior to him. And then they begin to say that this work is not theirs. That no one would hire him like that. The boy feels uncomfortable. Because they say he shouldn't have showered. But he repeats that it was because he had run there. The young man repeats that this work will not be his, since he's not even dressed properly. So they take the child's resume, which is so simple it's written on a piece of notebook paper. The girl asks that the interview is late and goes to see the boy's resume. She starts making fun of his resume. Because your requirements are very simple. She laughs at her training. And even calls his colleague to go see her. Then he arrives and they both start laughing at him. In the curriculum it says that he knows how to speak English. And of course the two do not believe it. The girl says that she doesn't speak Portuguese well, much less English, and laughs again. Still says that lying on a resume is a crime. They say that with that resume nobody is going to hire him. And they don't stop laughing at the boy. The boy feels uncomfortable with that situation. And asks what's so fun about the school where he studied, right? Has any, because it was there where he learned everything he knows, and he says he knows English, yeah. But since the others only wanted to destabilize him, they continued with the debauchery. They didn't even look like two adults who were there. Later, the employee who already works in the company went to tell the boss that the candidates were already there. And that they could start. The boss asks where they are waiting. The girl says that everyone is at the reception. Then the boss says, if they're all there, you know what to do. She says she'll fix it. The employee approaches them, greets them. She thanks everyone for being there. And tell them how your company works. The order of the interview is by training. So whoever has the best resume can head to the boss's office. The two who are the most get up and start arguing among themselves who was the best there. This discussion goes to the principal's office. And the other young man, knowing that his resume was not the best, he sits there, waits a while, and then gets up to leave. Arriving at the room, the other two are still arguing. And when they see the boss, they get a surprise. They find her familiar, but they don't remember where. The boss asks what's going on there. What a mess, they fight even to deliver the resumes. Then the boss asks why you should hire them. And meanwhile, the other continues unwrapping his resume to go to the room. Right now, the others are answering the question that the boss asked them, talking about their training in the curriculum. The dispute between the two does not end. It seems that it has even become personal. They give the resume to the boss, who already makes a comment. What else the company is looking for is character, and ask what they can say about it. The girl says she has a lot of character. Who has worked as a nanny in finance. And that is very reliable. He has a lot of experience, that his parents taught him to be a person of character. The guy says your resume is great. Who has worked in a bank, in treasury, in company accounting. The boss says she understood all that. But you are going to ask another very important question. So she says, if you find something very important on the street that does not belong to you, but you know whose it is, would you return it or not? What would their attitudes be? The girl says that she has never taken anything from anyone. Who is very honest. If she sees something fallen, she asks those around her to find out whose it is, and that she has never taken anything from anyone, that the boss can trust her. The boy says the same thing, that he returns everything that is not his. Then the boss sees the boy back there and asks him what he would do. The girl doesn't even let him answer and starts making fun of him again, saying that because of the way he was dressed, and with the smell that came, I'm sure he takes people's stuff. The boy agrees with her, saying that he really wouldn't give it back. Then he manages to answer, saying that surely if he finds something on the street, he will return it immediately. The boss is upset by the attitude of others towards him, and asks them to have respect for the colleague. Since she had asked him, and not the others, they apologize. So the boss says the only people in that room who aren't dishonest are them, they suspect. And says that she offended them, because they were super honest, and would never have taken anything from anyone. Then the boss asks if they recognize that uniform and that mask, and says that that same day they took money from a sweeper, and asks if they think that was honest. She says the skill she expects from her employees is honesty. And she says the only honest person in that room was that guy. He may not have a brilliant resume, and she doesn't need anyone to have it, precisely because he can learn. And that she does not need dishonest people. She asked for her money back, which was taken from the sweeper. The girl returns the money, saying that she does not need it, and that he has a great education, and that she does not need it. She is in a company that continues to accuse her, because anyone could have taken that money, and she took it because she had no owner, and she left. The young man already returns the money, saying that he needs that job. He says that he returns the money, but he really needed the job. The boss says he doesn't need it and calls him dishonest, asking him to leave his room. So she tells the boy who stayed that he was the only one who returned the money. That passed the test. He was the one she needed in this company. Because the best ability of the human being is honesty. An honest person is able to grow. And already a dishonest person who simply destroys anywhere he enters. Or anything she takes, because she only thinks of greed. And not you, she is humble, honest, and it is you who wants to work with us. The young man, still incredulous. He asks her if she's sure. Because his resume was much inferior to that of the others. And that he smelled, because he had to run out for the interview. The boss then reaffirms, "You are hired. Congratulations and don't worry. We have a work and career plan. We have training courses, you will get it. The best skill you already have, and that's what we want. Look at our employees." Then he thanks her.